All right, guys, I have a brand new oil sending unit here that's gonna go into this Porsche 997. And I wanted to make a quick video talking a little bit about the diagnostics, why I'm replacing it, and then show you how to replace it with the car and the engine. I already put one in this engine build in my engine build series. You can see it with the engine out of the car and see how easy it is to do and see where it is, what it looks like, all of that stuff by watching that video. But if you have it in the car, which is probably more typical, and you need to change it, I'll show you how. Here is the part numbers. This thing cost me about 90 bucks at Porsche dealership just because I wanted to get it quick and get this car started. This is what the part looks like. It screws into the top of the engine with this little crush washer, and it senses the oil pressure. It has two wires on the top. They connect to it. They're little spade connectors. You just pull them straight off the top. You unscrew this. This is a 19 millimeter bolt. I'll show you the tools I used to do that, but first let me tell you what happened. I went to start the car for the first time and checked out my oil pressure gauge, and when I just turned the ignition on, it went up to 2 and read 2 before I even had ever started the car. So that told me that there was something wrong because there should be no oil pressure. And so I removed this thing. I just wanted to show you now, if you turn the ignition on with nothing connected, it's gonna go all the way up to 5. Which also not good. So if either of those two things happen, you know you have a problem with this. Now, after I removed the old one, I noticed that this little nut right here holding this spade on was loose. And so this was just flopping around. So I'm gonna guess that that was possibly the reason, because it had a very consistent going to 2. So I'm gonna guess if that connection is not on, that's what happens. When I reinstall this one, I'm gonna test that by not connecting that wire first, and we'll see what happens. But the tools used, so to get it off, first of all, there's just two 10 millimeter nuts on this little heat shield, because I removed it mostly from the bottom. I got a 19 millimeter little claw foot. Put a link to the little kit that I ordered on Amazon in the description of this video. I ordered this set because it came between 4 and 8 a.m. overnight. And then this black one here is one of the extensions that came with it. I got another like 6-inch extension, and then another like, I don't know, 2-inch extension, and a 3/8 ratchet. So what this tool allows you to do is from under the car to reach up and grab onto the bottom bolt of this thing and unscrew it. Bottom bolt being this one right here. So the tool will look like this on it. So you'll need a fairly thin one. I saw a video of one guy that was trying to use another wrench, and he had to like actually shave it down. So if you're installing it, you can look right through here. You won't be able to see it in mine. Those two wires there, let me get this in focus. So the green wire, the green and brown wire, those are the two wires that connect to the top of it. Mine is missing, so there will be a hole over there right now in mine, but you can reach in with your hand and just pull those two wires off. And then you're gonna go from under the car, either on a crawler or if you have a 2-post lift, ta-da, you just lift your car up. You can reach up with this thing, grab it, and turn it. And remember, when you're turning it, you're gonna be turning this way, which looks like feels like you're tightening it, but it's actually turning this to the left to loosen it because you're upside down and all backwards and stuff. So just pay attention to that. So once you just get it barely loose, you can reach in with your hand, unscrew it the rest of the way, and pull it out through the top. So to install it, I'm just gonna do the complete opposite. I'm gonna reach in with my hand, start threading this in, make sure I have my washer on the bottom. I'm gonna go under the car and tighten it down, come back to the top, and I'll just put the small wire on, test our theory. All right, threaded in super easily, literally took 20 seconds. So now you can see it right there under the wires. All right, with the car up and that heat shield removed, look, it is sitting right there. Easy to reach. Gonna take my little claw tool guy, come right up to this side, rotate it around a little bit, and look, it's already latched on right there. Can make sure I switch this the other direction, and I'm gonna turn it counterclockwise, which feels wrong, but that is tightening it. And, all right, and just to be sure that's tight, I'm gonna take it off, come back around again. On the next thread of the bolt. So you're gonna see that little piece of the engine jutting out is in the way a little bit, so you'll have to get up over that. Oops, tool stuck up there. So once your tool is locked all the way on like that, you can just turn it, and it's gonna rotate that thing, and just get it nice and tight. And we're done. You can see the wire on top, so we're gonna go back on the top and connect your wires. And if you have a heat shield, don't forget, tuck it over here, back here. Tuck it over there. And just put our two 10 millimeters back in. All right, I reached back there and put the small one on just now. Haven't tested my theory yet. And they are different sizes. One is a little spade connector and one is a larger one, so you can't put them on wrong. So now let's see if it goes up to 2. It does not. So maybe that was not the problem. Makes me feel a little better spending $100 not for nothing. All right, they're both connected. I just want to confirm that it's still at 0. All right, I'm now very confident that we had a bad pressure sender and we now have it corrected. Hopefully this video was helpful, guys. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We'll see more cool 997 content coming up. Thanks.